When you said in the movie, when a man loses a wife, he's a widow. When a child loses a parent, he's an orphan. But when a parent loses a child, there's no word for that. Would you mind telling me why that resonates so personally with you?
I think it's pretty common. You always, a parent always hopes they'll leave before, you know, their children.
Absolutely.
It's very, very clear.
This role, I knew you from American Beauty. That was the first time I'd ever seen you acting. And I always remember thinking, wow, he played that role so well. He must be like that in real life.
Yep.
It was just totally opposite from what I understand from other people who have met you. And then seeing you in this role where there was so much emotion was just crazy impressive. You were so good, so good. I would love to know which one you find more challenging to play, the military government official role or somebody with emotion that has a personal situation.
I'd say it a little different. You know, I'd say Phil, because I so related to his emotions and the way he behaved and the way he reacted to this situation, this loss. It was more of a balancing act. It was walking on a tightrope, not to give too little, not to go over the top, you know. Colonel Fitz in American Beauty, you know, there were some pretty emotional scenes in that with Wes Bentley. I remember the evenings that we shot some of those scenes, and they were as emotional. Maybe not when the camera, well, yeah, when the camera was rolling as well, but even after it carried over, you know, after camera rolled out. But whatever, both of them were good challenges.
Is there a preference? Would you prefer to play, or is it just you love acting?
No, the only thing I'm concerned about is just not repeating myself. I had done like 15 years of theater before I ever did any film. I didn't start in film work until I was about 35, and at the time I look at it and I say, you know, there are a lot of actors that Morgan Freeman started pretty late. Billy Bob Thornton started pretty late. There are a lot of folks that did. I was real happy with theater as a single man, and I thank goodness that my wife kind of pushed me to, you know, I would have eventually gone into film work, but for a long time I just didn't feel ready.
Really?
And yes. And certainly infuriated the agents that I worked with at that time. But, you know.
Oh, so they wanted you were in theater and they wanted you to transition over so they could make the bigger bucks.
But, no, I had a lot of theater background.
Do you miss it?
Two very, very different things. And I realized in a family, theater was not fair. Well, not a fair thing. The hours are just too much. You do a theater piece, you go to bed at 2 in the morning, you wake up, and for any actor, I'm sure, the first thing you think about is the next night performance. Oh, and so I found my behavior was like, you know, leave me alone, don't bother me. Yeah. And you can't live like that.
No, absolutely. Thank you so much for your time.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Hey You Guys!
Hey You Guys, huh?
Hey You Guys.
Is that from the Goonies?
It is indeed, yes.
Nice.
Hey!